Ladies and gentlemen, hustlers of all ages, welcome to the Six Figure Playbook with your host, Alan, the Ace Man Dickie.
Welcome back, everybody. Alan Dickie, aka the Ace Man, and you're tuned in to another episode of the Six Figure Playbook podcast, and I'm really excited to have you here this week. And I just got to tell you, I give up. Yeah, I give up. Said nobody ever. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan Dickie here, back with another episode of the Six Figure Playbook podcast. And the reason we're talking about I give up is because on your way to attaining all of these production levels and performances in your lives, these six-figure levels, okay, there's going to be a point in time where you might start thinking or talking like I was just talking. And I'm here to give your head a shake and snap out of it. That's right. I'm telling all of you to snap out of it. Listen, man, on the way to achieving these desired results, you are going to have peaks and valleys. I mean, the nature of the game is understand there's peaks and valleys, and through consistency, sort of minimize the dips. Minimize how high and minimize how low you get. But on the road there are massive heights and there are massive valleys. So I want to reach out to all of you and just have an episode where we can talk about giving up and the fact that we're never gonna do it. Man, I was almost laughing to myself as I started that podcast. A few of you were probably 3 seconds into it saying, okay, it's time to stop listening to this one. But there might have been one of you out there that literally is feeling that way today, this week, this month. Who knows? And I want you to understand we all have been there. All of us, all successful people who have created immense levels of success in their lives have been there at a point where they just threw their hands in the air out of sheer frustration and said, that's it, I want to give up. But let me tell you something, folks. Nothing ever epic has ever happened to anybody who has ever given up, okay? Giving up is never an option. It's a natural feeling, and the reason I wanted to speak to it on this episode is to motivate and encourage all of you that you're not weird, you're not abnormal, okay? You are meant to do this. Look, as human beings, we are imperfect. Perfection is something we will never attain. So why would you ever expect the road to achieving these performance levels to be the same? It's not going to be perfect. You are going to fail. All right? There's a saying I absolutely love. It says, expect nothing and never be disappointed. Well, if you expect to never fail, then when you do experience a setback, you are going to be disappointed. But if you anticipate that failure is just something that is going to come along the way, along your journey as you create this immense success and these income levels in your lives, then when these things, these failures, okay, these little hiccups, when they show up, you don't get rattled and say, I give up. You don't throw your hands in the air and say, that's it, I'm throwing in the towel. You don't do that. You say, damn, today was a tough day. We've got some new challenges we need to overcome, but we're going to overcome them because we're the people that overcome challenges. You must be the other people. It's an attitude thing, folks. And I'm telling you, a lot of you out there as sales representatives, the people in your lives don't fully understand you. Your partners don't fully understand you. Your friends don't fully understand you. You know, the friends that are going to work for the 50 grand a year, the guaranteed paycheck. They know how many, peanuts are going to be dropped into their bank account at 12 o'clock midnight on a Thursday. They don't understand. So don't expect them to. Don't seek empathy or understanding from them. You need to create that yourself. And I want to give you a few tips on how you can do just that. The first is what I just mentioned. Look, expect nothing and never be disappointed. Anticipate that failures, little setbacks, hiccups are going to come along your path to greatness. As an example, I have sales reps of mine that I work with, and I do a ton of online digital marketing. I make hundreds of thousands of dollars off of Facebook annually, okay? And I show my students how to do the same. And in the automotive industry, when I'm teaching them how to do these things, there's a process. In marketing, if you talk to any marketing expert, they'll tell you when you come onto a scene as a brand new individual that nobody has ever heard of or seen before, there's a little window. It's about a 6 to 8 month window where people will go through a cycle. The cycle starts off with, who's this guy? Followed with, oh, there's that guy again. Followed with a little bit of hate. Hey, does that sound familiar? Look at this loser again. Oh, here he goes again. Well, you know what? With your consistency, that ends up turning into, there he is again. And he kind of makes some sense. Hey, take a look at this video. I really liked it. Next thing you know, that same person who was hating on you a few months ago is a raving fan advocate of yours and now loves all of the content that you put out there. So anyways, back to the message. With the reps that I work with, there is a period where you need to develop consistency in the marketplace. The market needs to know that you're not a flash in the pan, that you're not here today, gone tomorrow. And when you can make the market believe that you are here to stay, never going anywhere, that is when they will open themselves up to trusting you and doing business with you. However, along the way, as all of these marketing funnels build, as they're all being built out, there are some moments where frustration's experienced. So a lot of the sales representatives, I explain to them, I say from the onset, I say, look, we're making an investment right now. We're going to get these tools. I'm going to show you what to do with these tools so you can start to produce a ton of endless leads and opportunities in your career. And when I explain this to them, I also explain, expect nothing and never be disappointed. Hiccups are going to show up. Setbacks are going to show up. But it's all about plowing through them, all right? Setbacks are wonderful. I've actually reprogrammed my mind to embrace setbacks. And you know why? They're learning opportunities. They teach me a lot. As long as you have a setback and learn from it and make a decision for that particular setback to never happen again, it's a learning experience and it's not something that should be treated as a negative. However, as I'm stating to you right now, a lot of it comes down to trust and faith. But what I feel I don't deserve sometimes is I don't deserve to understand this so freely. You see, a lot of people don't understand how if they could approach their lives and their careers like a child, right? Unencumbered by all of the assumptive thinking of, well, that will never work, or this will never work, that can't happen, right? If they got away from that, then they would experience a ton of success that is really easy to attain. And it's a matter of think it, do it, create it. All of you right now who might be thinking, oh man, I want to give up, don't give up. You, a long time ago, made a decision that you wanted to do something and take a certain action for a desired result. That was you thinking about it. When you purchased whatever materials you needed, in some of the cases, programs from people like me, if you purchase various softwares to run online marketing funnels for, that's when you did it, okay? So you thought it and then you did it. And then finally, when you did do it and it was all set up there and you remained consistent with your approaches, business started to show up. And that right there is where you created it, okay? You think it, you do it, you create it. It's that simple. So what I want all of you to understand on this episode here is some of you this very week might be feeling, that's it, man, I give up. This is too hard. I give up. I've been working this online marketing funnel for, 3 weeks. Isn't it incredible how quickly we become impatient? How much of the world has what I like to call instant gratification disease, right? But we start thinking that way. I want you to know, remain consistent, do what you've set out to do, anticipate the setbacks and plow through them. Success is guaranteed for everybody. We discussed this on a past episode, but you must show up, take disciplined actions on a consistent basis to guarantee your results. Remember, it's not for you to know when the success will hit. It's just for you to know that by continuing to show up consistently in the name of attaining it, you will. So to all of you out there that enjoyed the beginning of this message and thought exactly as I was speaking, I give up, man. It's just too hard. Get that out of your head. Get it out of your head. We have all experienced failures. Fact of the matter is I think I have forgotten about more failures than the mass majority of planet Earth have ever experienced. I'm saying personally, failure is a beautiful thing, and through failure, I've created such abundance in my life and in my business and in my career that I can't stress enough. Never give up. The world is filled with people who give up, folks. We don't need any more of them. What we need are leaders. We need people who can shine as examples to other fellow sales representatives and entrepreneurs and business owners to say, look at me. I'm no different than you, but I never gave up. Folks, I'm never again going to start a podcast episode with that type of intro, but I had to do it today because some of you might have been thinking that way. And if you are, let me tell you something. You need to get tuned into this podcast, and perhaps you might need to go back all the way to episode number 1 to reframe your mind, to get that right attitude, to put on that armor so that you can handle the slight setbacks. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Alan Dickie, a.k.a. the Ace Man. I want to thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Six Figure Playbook podcast. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever else you're subscribing to your podcasts. As well, you can find them on my website, along with a ton of other amazing content at www.alandickey.com. Folks, anticipate the setbacks and they will not rattle you, but ultimately never, ever give up. And I'll look forward to seeing you all in 1 week's time on the Six Figure Playbook podcast. Make it a great week, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.